In this video, I'm going to be going over the two new huge proposals that can help you get up to $40,000 in down payment assistance when you purchase your very first home. But not everyone can qualify, so be sure to watch this entire video to see if this applies to you. Hey guys, my name is Sean, and if you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm a real estate investor and agent based here in the Bay Area, and on this channel, we go over real estate investing tips, strategies, and current events to help you guys become a real estate investing boss. Now this video is gonna be a little bit different because we're not talking about real estate investing. We're talking about these benefits that help you buy your very first home. Now there's two different proposals here. One is Joe Biden's first homer tax credit, and the other one is the Downpayment Toward Equity Act. Both of these are still in the proposal phase, and they need to pass the House of Representatives and the Senate and get signed by the president before they actually go into effect. But it's still good to know about these things so that you're prepared once they become active. So let's go into the first-time homebuyers tax credit first. This tax credit is for up to $15,000 if you qualify. And it's given as a tax credit, which means that you're not gonna be given the money from day one, but instead when you file your taxes, $15,000 will help you pay towards any outstanding taxes you have, and anything above that you get as a refund. But there are limitations to this program. So first of all, this is for first-time home buyers only. And the definition of a first-time home buyer is you can't have owned or purchased a property within the last 3 years. So if you had bought a property and then sold it in 2017 and have been renting ever since, then you are still considered a first-time home buyer and you can take advantage of this proposal. However, if you do own any rental properties, then unfortunately you do not qualify because you have owned a property within the past 3 years. This tax credit is also targeted towards people who are in median to low income levels. So you can't make more than 160% of the median income in your area. So unfortunately for all you big tech workers who are making giant salaries, you probably won't qualify for this program either. And on top of that, the purchase price of the home that you're gonna buy can't be more than 110% of the median home prices in the area. So this is gonna be kind of tricky because if you're in a market like this one where home prices are skyrocketing, sometimes you need to overbid to get your offer accepted. But in this case, you're limited to 110% of the area median price. So you also can't buy these luxury mansions. You need to buy something within the median scope of your area. And the goal of this proposition isn't to just give everyone $15,000. The point is to lower the wealth gap between the super elite and the medium to low income earners. This at least gives them a chance to get into a property if, before they were probably struggling because they didn't have money for a down payment. You also need to live in this property for at least 4 years, otherwise you'll have to start paying a proration of that $15,000 credit. Now we've actually had tax credits like this in the past. In 2008, they were given $7,500, and in 2009, they were given $8,000 for any individuals who are buying their first home. And this helped over 1.5 million households get into a home. And if and when this bill gets passed, it's going to be retroactive as of December 31st, 2020. So if you bought a home in January and thought, shoot, I should have waited until this bill got passed to get my $15,000, don't worry, you still qualify if you meet these other parameters, as long as you bought the property after December 31st of 2020. So like I mentioned, this bill is still in progress, and some of the terms may change, but this is what we know for now. Now there's also the Downpayment Towards Equity Act, and that's where you can get up to $25,000 in down payment assistance in the form of a grant. Now as of now, it seems like you can get both, right? You can get the tax credit and you can get the down payment assistance, which is great. But this down payment assistance program is even more reduced in scope, so even less people are gonna qualify for this program. So the first qualifier is that you can't have owned a home or property in the past 3 years. Very similar to the last one. It has to be your quote-unquote first home purchase. And qualified income-wise, you need to make under 120% of the median income in your area. So before it was 160, now you have to make less than 120%. But for home buyers buying in very high-cost areas, like the Bay Area, then that median income increases to 180%. So you can make a little bit more if you live in a very expensive neighborhood. Now the big difference between this act and the president's tax bill is that this is for first-generation homeowners only. So first generation means that your parents or your guardians did not own a home during your lifetime. So since you were born, they did not own a home, or if they did own a home, that they lost it due to short sale or foreclosure. So basically, it's not like they had a home and then they sold it for big profits. No, they lost the home due to short sale or foreclosure. And they also currently don't own a home. If you meet those criteria, then you can get $20,000. But if you're considered a socially and economically disadvantaged individual, you can get up to $25,000. Socially disadvantaged individual means that you've been subjected to racial or ethnic prejudice or cultural bias because of your identity in a group. And economically disadvantaged just means that you meet the bill's requirements where you're under that 120 or 180% cap. And as written in the act, socially disadvantaged just means that if you're Black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, or a combination of them, then you meet this requirement. And this act only works for loans that fit the Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac requirements and is considered a qualified mortgage. So, this doesn't work for jumbo loans, stated income loans, hard money loans. It's only for your conventional financing. And to qualify for this, they also make you go through a counseling program where they kind of talk over your options. You also have to live in the property for at least 5 years. Otherwise, you have to pay back the grant. And the way it works is if you move out of the house within that first year, then you have to pay back the entire $20,000 or $25,000 grant. And that penalty decreases by 20% for every year that you live in the property. So after 5 years, there's no more penalty. You can move and sell the house, no problem. Now, of course, just like the other one, this one's still in approval phase, so things may change. Now, the difference between a grant and a tax closing is that a tax closing is paid when you file your taxes, like the next year. And tax credit is more like a rebate on your taxes, and any leftover is refunded to you in the form of a check. Whereas a grant can actually help you pay for it right then and there. You don't really have to front the money, they'll just help you with your down payment. Now the big question is this good for us? I would say yes and no. I feel like these two bills are written really well and it really helps those who are economically disadvantaged. It's not really for everyone, so the prices won't really rise like crazy. It's only going to help those specific people who fit this criteria. And some people are arguing that instead of giving people, individuals, more money to buy houses, we should just create more supply. And by creating more supply, housing will become more affordable. So we should use those funds to help developers create more buildings. Maybe we should help fund these cities so they can approve things faster and, maybe have less red tape. I have a lot of friends that are developers in the area and they're saying that it takes, a year, 18 months to get their plans approved. And at that rate, you just don't have enough supply out there to get more people into these homes. And so of course, naturally, prices will increase. So then even if you're giving people money so they can buy more expensive houses, if the supply is low and demand is so high, you're just giving them more money. Now the demand is going to be even higher. And with this low supply, prices will just keep increasing. So it doesn't really help the problem. It's kind of like a band-aid for a flesh wound. You want to fix the actual problem, which is supply. And probably the only real way to solve it is to push the cities to approve projects faster, especially when it comes to affordable housing. And of course, at the end of the day, $15,000 or $25,000 may seem like a lot, but in an area like the Bay Area, it really won't even make a dent. It's probably going to be 1% of your earnest money deposit for the most part. So let me know your thoughts about these two bills. Do you like them or do you hate them? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you guys have enjoyed this video, do me a quick favor and take 2 seconds to smash the like button on this video to let YouTube know that you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care.